one of the things that we're seeing now is a natural change in momentum in the marketplace coming off of the spring market, getting into later summer, which is naturally a little bit slower. But we have seen sales being steady. We've noticed a bit of an uptick right now in listings right now, which is kind of normal. But we're actually seeing some good sales movement. So anything we're seeing now in terms of any slows in the market is just natural seasonal activity, which is great because we actually had a pretty good spring market.
We did. We had, I think we may have said this, but we had the best July as a company we've had
since 2014.
Yeah.
Transaction-wise.
Which is great.
That's phenomenal. Kudos to you guys.
Well, which typically is a bit of a slow month, so that's super interesting.
That's right. That's right. And so those of you that are out there that did a bunch of business in July, congratulations. Those of you that didn't, it's out there. It's out there. You got to get out there. You got to get out there and do it. I know that, again, we talk about this where it's easy to get down on yourself sometimes, but you got to get out there because the deals are happening.
Definitely.
And let's take a look at the actual numbers here. One of the things we're seeing right now with trade wars between U.S. and China is the price of oil slipped a little bit to $54.73. Western Canadian Select is sitting at $39.79 U.S.
Looking at listings and sales for Metro Calgary, up 126 since last week. Listings are now sitting at 7,526. Sales 1,603, which is down 1% from last week. Red Deer listings pretty stable, sitting at 759. Sales are up quite a bit at 149. And Lethbridge listings also pretty stable, sitting at 805. Sales down 5.3% at 179.
One of the things that, from the buyer's perspective, there was just an article that came out, and they were talking about how now that Toronto and Vancouver have cooled and the interest rates are low, we could see prices starting to go up again.
Yep.
And we're going to be talking about that in our second segment. But right now, buyers need to know that some of your window to get a good deal may be closing here in the next few months or by the end of the year. So strike while you have all the inventory to buy and don't wait out there because low interest rates are going to bolster everything. And from the seller's perspective, the buying season is slowing down a little bit here. So the best time to list would have probably been in like March, April, those areas now, but things are still moving. If you are in higher price ranges, you need to be really, really competitive.
Yeah.
As the spring market and the early summer market starts to come to an end.
September, October is great though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's still stuff happening.
September, October is great.
But we've seen lower performance in higher price ranges throughout the year, which is a problem.
Yes.
So sellers in those price ranges, above that 700 mark, be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Totally.
That's my cheer for sellers in higher price
We did
ranges.
just recently have a meeting with somebody that's not going to air for a little bit, so we can mention it. But the rental market is doing pretty good.
Yes.
And the rental market is doing pretty good, which is also really nice because typically when the rental market becomes a little bit stronger, it starts pushing people to enter the market, and the people entering the market means that the people who have their homes they've had for 5 years might be able to sell them and buy those $600,000 homes. So a strong rental market is really important, and that is going well right now. We just had a meeting with somebody who manages quite a few properties and said that this year she's actually encouraging all of her owners to raise prices by $100, $150 per month. And so far, so good. No complaints, and the places are still getting rented out. And
the rental market is always a leading indicator of the strength of the residential resale market.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So that's your market update.